Hello there. Welcome to CXE Math TV. So today we will be looking at foreign exchange in consumer arithmetic. Really, really nice. All right. So let's talk. Let's just take a moment and talk, right? So the microphone is on. Let's go. So my first question is, have you ever traveled before? And if so, which country have you ever visited? Well, for me, I've been to the United States before, so the United States of America. Now, my next question to you is, did those countries use the same currency as we use here in Jamaica? And for those viewers that are watching from Trinidad or Guyana, wherever in the Caribbean, you traveled abroad and did they use the same currency? Well, absolutely not. Now, what other currencies did you get exposed to in these different countries? And what are the exchange rate that you're aware of in comparison to your country? So of course, why are we doing this? This is just to warm up the idea of what foreign exchange rates is about. All right? So important notes. So different countries use different currencies. For example, in the Caribbean, we tend to use dollars and cents, whereas other countries like England may use pounds and pence. All right? And so, of course, why do we need to learn this? We need to learn foreign exchange or exchange rates because if trading is to take place between any two countries, the money has to be converted because the amount it values in one country is going to differ from what it is valued elsewhere. So this is what we then call the rate of exchange. And that's why we're learning foreign exchange. So on the screen displayed, you're seeing some popular $100 bills, the US bill, the Canadian bill, the Kiwi bill, the Euro, the Australian, all of these, $100 bills. And of course, let's move over to the Caribbean $100 bill. So you have the Jamaican $100 bill, you have the Trinidad and Tobago $100 bill, and of course, you have the EC, Eastern Caribbean $100. So these are usually a little less in value in compared to the States and of course European countries, but that's okay. All right, that's okay. So the best way to understand foreign exchange is you have to see it apply to question. So for example, this question says, Sarah is traveling from Kingston to Florida for a summer vacation. Before leaving, Sarah's aunt Ellen gave her Jamaican $15,000 for spending. Given the rate is US $1 is equivalent to Jamaican $151.42, what is the value of spending money that Sarah received from her aunt Ellen in US dollars? And then of course we proceed to do part B and part C. So let us start by doing part A. Alright, so part A, what did they give us? They gave us, of course, that $1 is 151 Jamaican. So that's what you always start with. You always start when you're doing the question with what is given. Alright? So this is my preferred way of doing these type of question is by what we call cross multiplication. You can never go wrong. So you're going to start by saying US $1 is equal to Jamaican $151.42. So you always start by writing down the exchange rate. Then now you look at the question and look at what you're trying to figure out. It says, what is the value of the spending money Sarah received from her aunt in US? So we need to convert how much Sarah get from Jamaican to US. So what do we know? We know that Sarah got Jamaican $15,000, but we don't know how many US that is. So we can call that Y US dollars. So this is how we're going to do this question. All we're going to do is do a technique known as cross multiplication. So you're going to multiply look how I bring over the 1. So 1 times the 15,000, then the 1, and it's going to be equal to the 151.42 times y. That's known as cross multiplication. So you work out 1 times 15,000, and that's equal to 151.42 times y, which is y, of course, is in US dollars. So now we need to make y the subject. So all you do is divide by 151.42. So when we divide both sides by 151.42, those cancel, and now you're able to have y by itself. So y then is just 15,000 divided by 151.42. And then, of course, you put that into your calculator. 15,000 divided by 151.42, and that will give you $99.06. So in that case, we can say that Ellen gave Sarah USD $99.06. So that's what she got. She almost got $100, right, on her trip. So that's okay. Alright, so that's how we use cross multiplication to solve problems involving exchange rates. Alright, now the next part of the question says, once she arrived, Sarah buys her aunt a gift which has a selling price of US $25 and had a sales tax of 10%. What is the total amount Sarah will pay? So notice that Sarah is going to buy a gift, and the gift costs $25, but Sarah will now have to pay tax, right? So since Sarah will have to pay 10% tax, there's 2 ways to do this question. Method 1, which is the popular way, method 1 is you, of course, work out what that 10% tax is. So we work out the tax, which is 10% of $25, right? So that is 10 over 100 multiplied by 25. 10 over 100, and then you multiply it by 25 is $2.50. Then once you get that, the total amount Sarah will pay now, so the total is going to be equal to the initial $25 plus, of course, the tax that you have to pay, the $2.5. So then when we add them, we end up get $27.50. So what is the total amount Sarah will have to pay? Sarah will have to pay $27.50 for the gift for her aunt. Nice. Now, are you ready to see method 2? I hope you are, because method 2 is extremely fun. So method 2 now is Sarah is going to pay 10% tax on the $25. So what we're then saying is that the total that she's going to pay is 110% of 25. So she's being upcharged. Yes, she's being upcharged. Whenever you have to pay more than 100% of its true value, you're being upcharged. So 110% is 110 over 100 multiplied by 25. And you work that out, you're going to get the same $27.50. So without having to find the tax and then add the tax to how much she would pay, you do it in one step. And that's why I prefer method 2. But it depends. You can choose to do method 1 or method 2. It's totally up to you. And that's how we do this question. Nice. All right. So part C, it says if Sarah changed the remaining US dollars to Jamaican at the same exchange rate, how much will she receive? So the first thing we said that, remember, Sarah get how much money? Sarah had USD $99.06, right? And then Sarah spent, how much did she spend on the gift for her aunt? $27.50. So now we need to work out how much Sarah have remaining. So remaining we're going to say is how much Sarah had, $99.06, and then we subtract $27.50. So when we do the subtraction, that is going to give us $71.56. So that's what Sarah has remaining, and this is of course in USD. Now, of course, it says that how much will she have in Jamaican currency? So, of course, we're going to have to convert to Jamaican currency using the what? The cross multiplication technique. So, doing this question, you're always going to start with the exchange rate. So, start by writing down, I hope you remember, 1 USD, remember, is equal to 151.42 JMD. And then right now, Sarah has $71.56 USD. I want to convert that to Jamaican, so we can call what we want to convert it to Y. So we need to find Y. To find Y, of course, we cross multiply again. So when we cross multiply, we're saying Y times 1 is equal to 71.56 multiplied by 151.42. Y times 1 is just Y. And so we work out 71.56 multiplied by 151.42, and that is going to give us $10,835.62, and that is in JMD. So that's how much money Sarah still has, right? So when she converted her remaining funds back to JMD, Sarah has JMD $10,835.62. All right, and that's how you do that question. Really nice. All right. Now, the only way to get better at doing these questions is with practice. So I want you to pause the video and attempt this question. So pause the video, read this question, and attempt it. All right, let's start this question now. So it says an American tourist changed US $925 into Trinidad and Tobago currency at the exchange rate that US $1 is equal to TT $6.30. Calculate the amount of TT dollars he received. So first thing we need to do is start with our original conversion. What did we say? Always start with the exchange rate. What was the exchange rate given? 1 US dollar is TT $6.30. So start with that. US $1 is equal to TT $6.30. Good. Now what do we need? Well, the American tourist got 925 US dollars. So US 925, that's equal to, we don't know. You can call it Y. We don't know how many TT that is. That's what we're trying to find. As I said, the easiest way to do it is to cross multiply. Cross multiply, you get 1 times Y is equal to 925 times $6.30. But 1 times Y is just Y. So we end up get 925 multiplied by $6.30. That will give us $5,827.50. So that's how much money the American tourist received in USD. So he received $5,827.50 in TT dollars. That's how much money the American tourist actually received when he converts his money to TT dollars. That's part A. Nice. Let's look at part B. It says the tourist spent TT $2,677.50. So he spent a lot of money. and change the remaining TT dollars into American currency. Calculate the amount of US dollars he will receive. So first thing is that we have to take out the deduction that he now has. So the money remain is equal to how much he initially had, $5,827.50, minus how much he spent. And he spent $2,677.50. So go ahead and do the subtraction for me. So when he subtract the amount that he spent, and him realize, oh gosh, he now just have $3,150 in TT. But he's like, no problem. I want my money back in USD. Maybe he's now leaving Trinidad and Tobago, and so he's going back to America, and he wants his money in USD. So again, you always start with the exchange rate. US $1 is equal to TT $6.30. Now what do you have? You have the TT dollars. So you're going to put TT now. 3,150 is equal to the US. We don't know. That's what we're trying to find. What you're trying to find, you always call the unknown. So we call that Y. In this case now, we're going to cross multiply. You cross multiply, so you're going to get 1 times 3,150 is equal to Y times 630. But I'm going to rewrite that as 630Y. It just looks better. It looks better, right? To just say $6.30Y. Now to make Y the subject, you just divide both sides by 630. So when you divide both sides by 630, that will then give us that Y is equal to, this cancel this, and so we put in our calculator 3,150 divided by 630, and we get $500. And so of course this tourist has 500 USD. So it has 500 USD remaining. So really and truly just spent 425 USD. He didn't spend a lot of money because he spent less than half his money. And he's okay. Alright, so I just hope that this concept is brought across pretty clearly. When to cross multiply, what you're trying to find, and it's really that easy. So of course, let's just do one more example to solidify our understanding on the topic. Alright, so this one is taken from a past paper question. This is from June 2006. This is CSEC Mathematics now. So it says Guyanese $1 is equal to US $0.01 and EC $1 is equal to US $0.37. Part 1, calculate Guyanese 60,000 in USD. Part 2, US 925 in Eastern Caribbean dollars. And part 3, EC dollars to Guyanese. And it was 6 marks to do these 3 questions. So go ahead, pause the video and attempt this question for me. It's a CSEC question, so attempt it, please. Alright, so in doing this question, the first thing is part 1 wants us to convert between Guyanese and USD. So remember step 1, always write down the exchange rate. What is the exchange rate given? Guyanese $1. They say it's equal to US 0.01. Now, what's in the question? Guyanese 60,000. So now Guyanese 60,000, that's equal to how many US? We don't know, so we call that Y. Now, I hope you've been noticing I use the letter Y a lot. Y and M usually are my choices of letter. You don't have to use those letters. You can use other letters for your unknown, alright? Don't use X. Too many persons will use X. So when we cross multiply, we get $1 times Y is equal to 60,000 times 0.01. They just put that in a calculator because 1 times Y is just Y. And so we put in 60,000 multiplied by 0.01, and voila, that gives us $600. So what we're saying then is Guyanese 60,000 is USD $600. That's it. So it's just 600 US dollars. So if somebody give you 60,000 Guyanese, don't get excited. It's just 600 US dollars. But that's okay. That's perfectly fine. All right, part two. Part two, we need to convert US 925 into EC. No problem. So of course we start by saying we're looking at US and EC. So we're looking between here. So in that case now we're going to say EC $1 is equal to US 37 cents. And so we need to work out US 925 in EC. So we write down US 925. Notice we keep the US on the right side. It's equal to how much EC? We don't know, so we call that Y. So in that case now we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to cross multiply. And so we have Y times 0.37. So we can write 0.37Y is equal to 1 times 925. So to make Y the subject, we need to divide both sides by 0.37. So when we divide both sides by 0.37, that cancel each other. And so 925 divided by 0.37 is just 2,500. And so what we're then saying is that USD 925 is Eastern Caribbean $2,500. So if somebody give you 925 USD, don't act as if it's a little bit of money. It's good money. It's what? 2,500 EC. Can do a little something, right? Definitely. Nice. Now the third one. The third one has to be the most challenging question. So it says now we need to work out EC 625 in Guyanese. So I want you to pause again and try it again. If you did do it correctly the first time, no problem. But if you didn't attempt part 3, I want you to pause again and attempt part 3 because part 3 have something nice in it. Alright, so as I'm really animated to go through part 3 with you, it says that EC 675, we need to find it in Guyanese. However, there is no way to go from EC to Guyanese because we don't know that exchange rate. So what are we going to do? Well, we know to go from EC to US, and then we know to go from US to Guyanese. Ain't that easy? Yeah, so why not do that? We can go from EC to US, then convert that US amount to Guyanese. Now the question looks easy. So now we can start with the exchange rate with EC to US, right? So let's start with that exchange rate. So we know then, of course, that EC $1 is equal to US $0.37. And we want to convert EC 675 to USD. So we don't know, I'll call that M. So we cross multiply. M times 1 is equal to 675 times 0.37. So we work out 675 times 0.37. And so what we get is 249.75. That is M. So in that case, what we're saying then is that $675 Eastern Caribbean dollars in USD is $249.75. Now we need to convert that amount to Guyanese. So now, of course, start with the exchange rate. What was the exchange rate? The exchange rate given was that Guyanese $1 is equal to US 1 cent. Yes, I know that sounded away. Guyanese $1 is just 1 cent in US, that's fine. And now we want to work out how much is US $249.75 in Guyanese. No problem. So the first thing we're going to do again is cross multiply. Notice, guys, I don't know how many times I would have said it. Remember, you have to keep one particular currency on the left and the other particular currency on the right side of the equation before you cross multiply. Alright, so in this case now we multiply y times 0.01, and that's equal to 249.75 times 1. Now to make y the subject, we just divide both sides by 0.01. So dividing both sides by 0.01, of course on the left side, 0.01 cancel. And so now we're just working out 249.75 divided by 0.01. In that case, we get 24,975. Finally, we're finished, guys. So now we can tell them that EC 675 in Guyanese is $24,975. And that's your answer. Nice. So that question seems a little challenging, but that's how you do it. So look out for questions like these where you have to convert from one exchange rate to the other and then to another in order to do the problem. Alright? Nice. And so that's it for today. Alright, so stay tuned to CXC Math TV for more. Make sure to check out my website, alright, to download a practice worksheet on foreign exchange. Alright, so check out the website and look for that foreign exchange worksheet. Stay tuned for more and have a blessed day.